Let's take this Chidinma situation and try to break it down in our brains as much as we can. The problem with Chidinma is that she didn't represent South Africans in any way. From her name to the way that she looks, down to the culture that she has publicly celebrated. I personally didn't care what Home Affairs said about her citizenship. All I cared about was the fact that nothing about her represented South Africans. When you tell us that we would rather celebrate a Mariki Filyu
are you guys understanding what she's saying?
Sister, then we have the right to tell you that what you're talking about is a racial issue and it has nothing to do with being Miss South Africa. Playing the brother and sister card in the situation doesn't work because a Mariki Filyu is more of my sister.
Just listen to her
when we
properly.
talk about being a South African as opposed to a black girl that comes from Nigeria or Ghana. In South African context, Mariki is my sister because I recognize her name, I recognize her language, and I recognize her culture. A Michaela Mackenzie is more of my sister when we talk about being a South African as opposed to a Chidinma. If your problem is race and colonization, then there's other platforms where you can discuss those things, not this one. If the situation is racial, then yes, I can say Chidinma is more of my sister than a Mariki, but this is not the case. So stop trying to guilt trip us and using big words to make us feel guilty or make us feel bad for not wanting to accept a person that doesn't represent us in any way. Stop trying to dibanisa things that don't dibana.
You see, if you look at this matter well, I don't know if you understand it from the parts of the South Africans, right? Common sentiment. Assuming you are not Nigerian and you are not South African. Let's say you are Kenyan and you want to judge this matter. For Christ's sake, this beauty pageant is for South Africans. The person that won is a South African. Let's even forget her name. She is a South African legitimately. Chidinma is a South African illegitimately. The process that made Chidinma, what made Chidinma a South African, the process at which she became a citizen, is a fraudulent process. And you expect them to allow somebody who became a citizen fraudulently to become Miss South Africa? Come on now. Come on. If you are outside the scene and they tell you, you judge her, would you let her be Miss South Africa? Not to even consider the fact that even we ourselves in our country here, you don't need to be a citizen illegally for them to tell you cannot contest on this. Inside this Nigeria, you can be a citizen in Nigeria and there are things you cannot contest based on tribal divide. Now this one not even looking at tribe. They're just telling you don't represent us. One, you are a citizen illegally. Yeah, it's not your fault, it's your mother's fault, but does not change the fact that you are a citizen illegally. And as South Africans fool everywhere, they tell us we'll go sort out our country first. Our country where some people not fit contest governorship for Lagos because their mama no come from Lagos. Would you blame them? It is the truth. That last election I did not support Badibo Host Driver. I voted Sonwolu. But does not change the fact that the level of tribalism that was meted against Badibo Host Driver was totally unfair. And when we treat ourselves like this, the Western world is watching us. This person is illegally a South African. There will be penalties. If we are discussing race, we as Africans, that's a different topic. But we are discussing citizenship. We need to understand the difference. I mean, we come up bias and sentiment from this thing. I just say my opinion. Even since I do that last video, said maybe the South Africans will watch the video, maybe they don't even get here enough to listen because they don't fool my DM, they quarrel with me. And almost say South Africans they watch my video. They call I should focus on my country. I should stop talking nonsense about South Africa. I call the one that say, where did I say nonsense? Not their fault. It's not their fault. People when our president start to wear clothes. What can we do? Now we embarrass ourselves for them. Now we destroy our nation We made a fear boss. Even Ghana don't the year boss. Say we not get light. Anyway, Miss Universe Nigeria don't invite Chidinma and say me she can participate. If they're not gonna let her participate for there because she's not from there, she can come back home. She's from here. May we leave people things, fix our own here first before we quarrel with people over there. Okay, that's true. South Africans not the hear better pitching English. No wonder they don't understand what I talk. Oh.